message එකක් ආවද? මම දැකලා laptop එක roll වෙනවා. ඉතින් දැන් කියන්නේ මෙයා බැටරි ඒ විදිහට ඉන්ඩිකේට් කරනවා කියලා මේ software එකේ ඉන්නේ. මම දැකලා මම අත්දවල. දාගන්න තමයි කියලා ෂුවර් නේද තියන නැද්ද?
Different types of standards. The first one is called de facto. DEFACTO. DEFACTO. De facto standard. De facto standard. De facto means by fact. It means by common use. When lot of people start using a standard, using say one product or one technical specification and adapt it very commonly, although people have not defined it as a standard, it automatically becomes a standard, right? Because of the popular use. Since everybody is using that kind of a standard is known as a de facto. No one has standardized it, but due to the popular use, it is almost like a standard that everybody follows. Right? So you can write a de facto standard is a standard that has evolved, evolved, or happened without any formal plan or approval. Without any formal plan or approval. Underline that sentence. That's a key sentence you must write. Then new paragraph. Many de facto standards have originated from the company. Originates from a company. When a product or a service become widely accepted in the market or society, facto society, it becomes a de facto standard. Becomes a de facto standard. Wide acceptance is one of the criteria. That happens normally under these situations. If there is no existing standard, it is very likely that the product put forward by a company becomes the standard in that case. If the product is the first of its type to the market, or if the product is a key product, without which you can't survive, key product. If the product features a sufficiently large share of the world market, then the market share is high. So when these things are there, normally that product becomes a de facto standard. Any examples that you find? Any de facto standards that you know that no one has standardized, but wide acceptance is there in the society or in the market. There may not be a standard body who has approved. Some products are there which has not been approved initially, but later on they have become standardized because of the popular use. After they have become a de facto standard, then it has been standardized.
PDF file format.
PDF file
have standardized.
They came standard later.
Because of wide acceptance.
Okay. Could be. I am unaware of that. The PDF file format is one standard. Any other? There can be many in different fields.
I think Microsoft Excel file format is also like that. The saving format also.
Excel file format. Even the others use it quite often. Yeah, file format by a particular company like Microsoft might become a standard, provided if they open it. But some of the companies don't open it, and therefore it does not become a standard. Otherwise it could have become a standard, but they might not open it to everybody, therefore it might not become a standard. So there may be parties working against it because they have not opened. In that case, there is opposition. But when we say de facto, people generally accept. There is no opposition there. What about this cable? This connector? RS-232, very common, isn't it? What is the standardizing body? Later on, ITU came with EIA standard. Not ITU, EIA, Electronic Industries Association, gave a name for it. But before that, RS-232 came from a company. And because there is no other connector suitable at that time, RS-232 is almost a standard, although nobody standardized it. Yeah. So later on, EIA took it as a standard, but before that it has become a standard anyway. Yeah. And you can see even today, after so long time, I remember the same connector when I was studying. So such a long time, this connector remains. It cannot be now because the technology is growing very fast. How can a connector like that survive for a long time? It must be a genius design, right? But it is a de facto standard. HDLC is a de facto standard because it came from IBM. IBM came up with, for their computers, they came up with a protocol called HDLC. It is there as a market standard generally. No one else had a protocol. Then later on, ITU took it as and modified the name as HDLC and standardized. But before that happened, everybody was using it. It was a de facto standard. Sony Betamax became a video standard for the broadcaster. But Betamax has not been standardized by any company, any authorizing body. But at that time, you ask any broadcaster, they go for Sony Betamax. So likewise, Walkman even is until recently only Sony, right? Certain products have become basically the name is synchronizing directly with one company. Cisco, it could be an innovation or first to the market, any of these reasons. Or several of these reasons may be satisfied. Such product will automatically become de facto standard. So give you example. Before that we will write this. Not subheading, new paragraph you can write. A company can create a de facto standard. Product or a service. Product or a service. And is if there are no existing standards for the purpose. There are no existing standards for the purpose. Number two, but the product is the first of its type on the market. Product is the first of its type on the market. C, the product is the key product. D, the product captures large market share. Product captures large market share. A moment ago we were studying VLAN. Who proposed it? Came from Cisco. So Cisco VLANs became basically de facto. Until actually the protocol also came from there. VT. Some companies proposed it. For example, RS-232 from HDLC, within brackets, originated from IBM as SDLC. Originated from IBM as SDLC, Synchronous Data Link Control. Then Trouser switch for the PSTN. Trouser is the name of the person, right? Trouser switch remained as a switching standard for a long time, but Trouser is not an engineer. He just had the idea of automatic switching. He was just a property salesman. I think when we studied PSTN, I told you the story, remember? He was a mortgage dealer, Trouser. When so there was a manual telephone exchange. This is in US, right? And the manual exchange was operated by a lady, and her husband is also a mortgage dealer. So when people ask for mortgage services, the lady always connected to her husband, and Trouser was losing the business. So then he came up with a device called Trouser switch, to get rid of that lady from the manual exchange. So he proposed automation and he did it. And after that, Saudi switch design became a world standard. Many manufacturers manufacture it. And he has not done any engineering or anything. He just wanted that lady to be removed from it. And that made manual exchanges to be automatic exchange. So you don't need to study engineering. If you have a real big problem, you become an innovator. If you have a real difficulty in finding a job, you will study hard, right? So likewise, innovation. RJ45 connect, like RS2, company standard. Then CDM.
कोई company?
RJ, I don't remember the company, but some network. But you remember the networking company?
RJ11 is also possible.
RJ are all from the same company, and after that everybody started using it. Then CDMA came from Qualcomm Corporation. Qualcomm. Still they have the patent. Anybody manufacturing CDMA, they have to pay Qualcomm. CDMA. CDMA became a standard, but it's a company standard actually. Qualcomm. QUAL. Qualcomm is QUALCOM. Qualcomm. Then Cisco VLAN standard. That also you can make. TS2 mouse came from IBM, right? Likewise, you can find then Sony Betamax. You can mention that Sony Betamax. Betamax video recording standard. Sony Betamax, etc. You can find many de facto standards like that. Actually, the company initially made it without thinking that it should become a international standard. They never thought. They may not have thought. They just wanted their product to be launched, so they designed it and launched. But in the absence of other standards, other products like that, competing products, automatically people widely accept it and use. And slowly it becomes an international standard. That's what happens. That's called de facto. Then opposite of that is called de jure standard. We'll mention that here. DEJURE. DE-JURE, de jure standard. De jure means by law, by the jury. Jure is a word coming from jury. De jure means by law, not by popular use, but this is by law. By the law. On a new line you can write a de jure standard, DE-JURE. De jure standard is formal and adapted legally. Formal and adapted legally by and authorized standardizing body, standards body, STANDARDA, standards body. It's approved after an open, well organized, standardization process. Based on formal rules. Question. Usually they become public standards. Usually they become public standards. Some are equally accessible to all. Public standards. Some are equally accessible to all. Equally accessible to all. That is de jure. It is opposite of de facto. De facto is informal. This is formal. De facto starts by popular use. This starts from the standard and then goes for manufacture. Use actually happens after the standard. GSM is an example. GSM phones are manufactured after you release the standard, not before. So this is complete opposite of the earlier. You can give few of the examples, you know, like IEEE 802. It's a committee. It goes through and then design Ethernet. IEEE 802. Also, you can mention
MPEG standard in the game.
MPEG, yes. MPEG is another one. MPEG. What did I mention earlier?
IEEE.
GSM standard is also like this. CDMA is not like that. You can see. CDMA comes from a company. GSM comes from a standard body called ETS. Two opposite telecom techniques, you can see. So they are all these are all de facto, de jure standard. And then there are other types. Third one, let me see. Active standard. Active standard. Suppose the standard is constantly operational or in force. That is active at the moment. So there can be de facto standards active or de jure standards active at the moment. They are called active because they are in force, already being applied. But some standards get outdated and they are not active anymore. Right? And they go out of the usage. Right? Active standard. An active standard is constantly operational. Underline constantly operational. Question. It remains in force. At the given time. In force at the given time. So how do they avoid getting outdated then? How do they constantly remain in force? It is like the Act of Sri Lanka. The government of Sri Lanka can get outdated. So how will the government keep it updated? The constitution, for example, the country has a constitution, which is like a standard, right? Some kind of a political standard. But things change. In that case, do we make a new constitution? What do we do? Come on, you know, on the radio, TV,
Polling
for any new constitution. By poll, you can't change the constitution. By poll, you can get a mandate to change the constitution, but you can't change. Change happens. Right? Come on, our general knowledge seems to be having a problem. Right? When you are too technical, you lose everything else. How does the government keep the constitution updated? I heard that being taught by Mr. Kodavadi in the O-level class. So you must have studied it. Suppose there is a problem in the constitution and government wants to change it, but does not want to change the whole constitution because lots of other things are correct, maybe only one mistake. What do? You wait with the mistake? No, you bring amendment. Now, 13th amendment everybody is talking about, right? This Palat Sabhat, which is the 13th amendment. 13th. So everybody is talking about the 13th amendment. So you bring amendments to that. That is the way you can keep it going. Otherwise people will disregard. People say, well, this is very outdated, we don't need to continue with it. Now the law of Sri Lanka, which is coming from Roman law. Is it outdated? No good. Maybe halfway, right? So again they keep it updating with the new verdicts and all, right? Otherwise people will reject it. People will say, no, this law is too outdated and we don't need to obey it. So there must be a way of enforcing it constantly. That's why we underline that word. Can you underline that word? Constantly. Constantly operating. You can't get something constantly operational unless you have a way of upgrading. So anything, constitution or anything, take for yourself, you yourself will get outdated if you don't update yourself, isn't it? And your boss will say, now this person is too old and not suitable for new technology, let us throw him away. It will happen to you someday. Right? It's a matter of time. Very difficult to keep 100% updated, isn't it? But good news is that you can find another job most of the time because some employees are there who will continue with some outdated technology. So there may be chances. So this constantly enforced thing is applicable to yourself also. If you want to be constantly a good employee, you must have a way of constantly updated. It's applicable to the government, applicable to anything. Otherwise that underlying part will not be okay. Then you will not be an active standard. It will not be an active standard. So you can write. However, there must be a way for improvement / update. Therefore, amendment, amendment can be proposed and approved. Amendment can be proposed and approved to improve or upgrade, to improve or update the active standard. New paragraph. When a standard gets outdated, fully outdated, when a standard gets fully outdated, and not in use anymore, it becomes an inactive standard. Inactive, INACTIV, inactive standard. Underline inactive. Then next one is voluntary standard. VOLUNTARY, voluntary standard.
So සංගර examples එක USB වගේ ඒවා දැන් update වෙවි.
Yeah, even USB, there are USB 2, like various new versions are coming, otherwise that name goes out there. So somebody must be actively changing it. Otherwise it cannot be active all the time. Then next one, voluntary, VOLUNTARY. Voluntary means not by force, but by you are willingly participating in the standard. Sometimes the set of companies get together and they say, okay, let us adopt this as a standard and we will follow. Voluntary. Nobody will force. People who like, companies who like that can join. If you look at the internet, there are forums, ATM forum, frame relay forum. Most of these telecom standards started like forum. And companies, big companies actually, they join together, agree, okay, let us follow this standard and make equipment, and they continue. ITU will approve it later. Before that, many companies have put the products into the market voluntarily. How can they do it? Because they already have good, faithful customers. So those customers know that if this company puts the product out, they must be reliable. Even if it is not a standard, we will buy. There are customers like that. Because there is a clientele like that, big companies are capable of doing voluntary standard. They make a forum and ask the other companies voluntarily join. And then set of companies or set of users can voluntarily join, set up the standard and start manufacturing. And normally it becomes a success. You can write a voluntary standard is a standard which is voluntarily followed by a group. Example, group of manufacturers or users. The contribution to develop or upgrade such a standard, may come from any party. Within brackets, example, a user, close the bracket, as an improvement. Then the rest of the group will voluntarily agree to update such a standard. Example, various forums such as ATM forum, FR, frame relay forum, DRM forum, digital radio, called Digital Radio Mondale is the name, DRM forum. You can visit their website on the internet when you type Digital Radio Mondale, Mondale, Mondale. ERM forum, etc. There are many forums like this. New line is on, right? When the interest group is large and influential, a voluntary standard may finally become approved by a standards body. To be a de jure standard. Finally, it can become a de jure standard. But before it happens, normally these standards bodies will appoint a study group, SG. Study group will study and recommend if there is any modification needed, and after that only these people will agree. When RS 232 was approved, it was approved as a combination of two standards, V24 and V28 by CCIT, because they came up with modifications. So this group, voluntary group, is called SIG, Special Interest Group. Then study group is the group appointed, professionals appointed to study this and recommend to the standards body, and after that standards body will enact the standard with certain modifications. That's the procedure. To do this, the standards body will form a special SG study group. Special SG study group and get their recommendation. Recommendations. Finally, there may be modifications recommended. As well before it becomes a de jure standard. Then there is another type called reactive standard.
So Bluetooth है, I think SIG special interest group.
Yeah, many telecom products. Bluetooth also maybe. There should be an interest group. Interest groups could be companies sometimes. Companies sometimes use it. Next one is reactive standard. The word reactive means standard body was not active. Users or companies are active, and they come up with a solution and force the standard body make this as a standard, and then the standard body will study it and adopt it as a standard. It's called reactive, because the standard body is not proactive. Proactive means you see the problem beforehand and make a study group, get the recommendations, and then standardize. That's proactive method. Reactive method is you wait until somebody pushes you. So people who are affected by not having a standard will make a what they call advocacy campaign. Advocacy means they get together, they make a society or a union or something, and then force this, okay, you do this. Then only the standard body will standardize. That kind of a standard is called reactive. It's not a proactive way, a reactive way of standardizing. But that also works. Right? Therefore, there are advocacy campaigns. Advocacy means people affected will get together and shout. Shout and demand that standards be applied. Recently also graduates also have advocacy campaign, right? In setup. So where they get together and make a demand. Say, we must standardize the job so that we can get the job solved. But that won't happen. So jobs are for people who can do it. Not for people who have certificates. Now when you do sit and guilt also remember the lesson, right? You must not be a person who hold a board like that. Sit and guilt people never have such a thing in anywhere in the world, isn't it? Have you heard sit and guilt people holding boards like that in front of a president or something? Why? Why do graduates do that? Why not sit and guilt? Because sit and guilt is a vocational qualification. It is targeted for a job. But degree is not vocational. Degree is to develop the mind. Develop the mind, and you might develop your analytical capabilities of the mind. But if the country has no jobs, that's the situation. There are countries who don't need analytical minds like us. In that case, degrees are treated like that. But some countries need more than analytical mind, very obedient mind. Obedient minds are the ones who will do maintenance, cleaning. You don't need to think. You can be trained to do something regularly, routine. So Sri Lanka is known as such a country, although we should not say it loud. And therefore, vocational training courses like City and Guilds are good for countries like us. But in other countries like UK, they have this as well as the degree course. Both are recognized, and they are targeted for different purposes. Normally, the degree holders may be doing policy making or something like that, more thinking work, more hands-on work by vocational qualification. Sri Lanka also have vocational as well as this, but the number of jobs available in these places are different. Vocational has more jobs actually. When you train yourself for a vocation, you normally have a job. When you train yourself for thinking, no job. There is no place who needs thinkers here. Unless you want to become advisor to president or something, that only one person can become. Right? But Sri Lankan president has some 50 advisors, I heard. But US president has much more. Right? Because normally president is only a symbolic and ceremonial figure who can just keep the people happy. That's all. He is not the one who is really doing the job. The job will be really done by think tanks who are behind, who are advisors. So maybe our president do not have enough time. That's why he might make mistakes. So coming back to this, reactive means someone must advocate or advocacy group must pressurize. Then only it will happen. So there must be pressure. Right? Reactive standards come as the response. Reactive standards come as the response to a problem when stimulated, stimulated, stimulated by a user request. User request first. user request, next sentence, user request may come as a pressure group activity. Pressure group activity. Pressure group, we call them PG activity. Earlier we had SG, study group. Pressure group activity. / advocacy campaign. Advocacy, ADVOCY, advocacy, CACY, advocacy campaign. Advocacy campaign. Thereafter, the formation of a standard. Is done as a solution. Formation of a standard is done as a solution to the problem. Next sentence. Because it is the reaction for the user request such a standard is called a reactive standard. Such a standard is called a reactive standard. Normally, government has salary scale, right? Standardized. That if you want to change, government will not automatically study the salary steps and give you the salary. You must have a pressure group, unions or something, and then meetings, after that strikes or something, and then only reactive standardization will come. The government will appoint a committee look into this. Scales might be redrawn, salary increase or something might be given. Reactive standardization. Unless the pressure build up, you don't do it. So there are situations like that. Okay, so these are all categories. All categories of standard setup. Then we look at stakeholders. Stakeholders is CAKE.
So this one.
Mandatory means basically mandatory standard means you must. Voluntary and mandatory are opposite.
It's another name. That
it's not a different one actually. Mandatory means government put it as a rule. But it may not come from a standard body. Maybe from the government. Maybe from a local government. They may say tax is a mandatory thing. It is not a standard. Taxes are not standardized in the world. Local government may put a tax and ask you, okay, you must pay this tax, otherwise we will not allow you to operate this as a business. It is a mandatory standard. It is not coming from a standard body, but something put onto you, but you have no choice, you have to do it. Then we call it mandatory. In Sri Lanka it's not very common because standards are basically coming from international level. Sri Lankan standards are not that high.
ටෙලිකොම් ෆීල්ඩ් එකේ towers ගහනකොට ඒවා limit කරලා share කරගන්න.
Yeah, those are mandatory actually. They are coming as policy. Rather than standards, they come as policy. The policy you will have to agree and you have to do accordingly. Shall we add a word about that? But a standard, it's not a standard word. Mandatory. So you can see in addition to the above, there can be mandatory, standard slash policies, standard policies slash rules, etc. That need to be complied with. That needs to be complied with. Complied. C-O-M-P-L-I-E. Complied. And that is usually from local authorities. Usually from local authorities, not from international bodies. Good example you mentioned, the telecom tower policy. An example, telecom tower policy. An operator may need to comply. There is no international standard for telecom tower. But there is a local policy. So it is a mandatory standard, otherwise you will not be able to erect the tower. Okay, subheading stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people who actually participate, so have a role to play. There are three kinds of people: authorities, like regulatory bodies, government; users who actually consume; suppliers or service providers who provide the service. These people provide the service, these people consume the service, these people monitor it. Authorities monitor it to see whether there is any intervention necessary, whether there is injustice or something to be done, then they will interfere and try to put the rules. They are just watching and may come in and put the rules. So normally there will be some interaction between these two nodes, and when there is a need of it, the authorities will come and put a stand. Suppose if the supplier tries to exploit the user, some big companies might have their own standards and say, okay, we give you at this price, and when later when an upgrade is requested, the supplier will quote a very high price, because the user has no other choice. He has gone for a non-standard product, and he has already bought once of the component, and something is broken, then he will think whatever the price, the supplier says, you have to buy. So that is exploited. When those things happen, authorities will put stand. And also if the authorities find that the user needs low price, they might put a stand for all the suppliers and manufacturers. So that if you manufacture this stand only, we will allow you to sell. Then low prices will come. So some countries even do that for the cars. India did it for the cars for a long time. I think they are still doing it. They don't allow all cars to be imported. They have basically standardized on one or two companies, Indian ones. So not 100% standard, but way of regulating, way of standardizing. So they are basically forcing the Indian users, okay, you buy from suppliers we recommend. Likewise, there are strong rules. That's where the authorities can come to the picture. They will limit the import so that the users have no choice than buy that standard product. You can do that. Authorities. Here you can say suppliers and service providers. And the user. Those three are the stakeholders. These are the categories of players who should accept the standard. Stakeholders are the people who will be affected or involved in standardizing process. You can write. Stakeholders get involved in visual standardization process. Individual standardization processes. Standards Organization. And mention there are 3 levels: international level, regional level, and national level. International standards, regional standards, and national standards. Maybe you can give examples to category. International standards. What are the organizations? Commonly known ones? IEEE. ITU. Maybe ITU could be the first. Truly international. ITU, then IETF, Engineering Transport. IETF. They are truly international bodies, not localized for a particular country or a region. Regional standards. ETSI, the European Standards, ETSI is the European Region Standard. ABU, Asian Broadcasting Union. ABU for our region. Then EIA, Electronic Industries Association, for that US region, US, Canada, EIA. Then national, and the CRCS. CRCSL, and for the IT side it may be ICTA, ICTA, SLSI, Sri Lanka Standard Institute, etc. They are local. So standardization organizations you can see as they exist in different ways. Okay, then subheading ITU. Now these are the places you must visit on the internet. What does Sam mention? Visit all these websites. Visit all these websites. If you like, mention before the exam. Because sometimes we visit after the exam. No use. Right? We are looking at the international level one. ITU, which is the apex body for telecom, and it is oldest UN organization. The first UN organization is ITU. ITU is the oldest UN organization. So therefore it has a lot of respect. It is the apex body for telecommunication. Apex body. Can you mention that word? Apex body. So in the top, right? Apex body for telecommunication. Founded in 1865, long time ago. Headquartered by Virginia. There are many Sri Lankans working in the Moratorium there a lot in the headquarters. Let me revise this. Standards are very slow. ITU is normally criticized as one of the slow organizations, but heavily respected. Highly respected because they have maintained good coordination among manufacturers and everything. Each UN member country has the right to become a member of the given Sri Lanka is a member for a long time. And it is financed by voluntary members. Voluntary members pay. So indirectly you are also paying for the ITU. International Telecommunication Union. please visit itu.org. And it is one of the best websites for tutorials also. There are a lot of things you can download and learn. ITU is like this, divided into three areas: ITU-C, ITU-R, ITU-D. Under each one there are study groups. T for telecom, R for radio, D for development. Those are the three categories. Others also have study groups, right? Although one is not. Mention that T is for telecom, R is for radio, D is for development. You can write under ITU-T. There are 15 main study groups. 15 main study groups. New paragraph. Main tasks of ITU. Main tasks of ITU are: number one, maintenance and development of international cooperation. We have to get the support from all countries. Maintenance and development of international cooperation. Two, active support of technological development. Three, technical assistance to developing countries. So those are the three main tasks of ITU. There are a lot of other sub-tasks which we are not citing. Go to the website and have an idea. There are lots of publications by ITU which are very useful. Many publications. But the science says ITU publication are extremely useful set of resources. Extremely useful set of resources. Useful set of resources for telecom professionals. There are free downloads available. Some publications may last money. But the money is not for profit actually, money is for the payments of professionals who get involved in the development process. Because it's a non-profit organization run by the member states. We said there are 15 study groups. at the moment, and the ITU key. You don't need to write. Just have a look. These are the 15 study groups who put up all telecom standards in the world. So different areas you can see study groups are there. And this subgroups are there. Likewise, it's a big organization. Go to the website and you can get more. Another big one is ISO, International Standard Organization. We are writing few things about the International Standard Body. This is the second one, International Standard Organization. Remember ISO 7-layer model as a framework for thinking? It is also based in Geneva, Switzerland. I don't know how Geneva is also this international body. ITU is also in Geneva. It is a collection of standards organized. That's interesting, isn't it? This is the leader of all standards organization. Standards organizations are on top, and this is on top of everything. ISO. Visit iso.org. Main job: establish international technology standards to facilitate global information exchange and barrier-free trade. Barrier-free trade. You can visit the website and find out who are the members in the ISO. ITU is also a member. You can see regional standard bodies. These are the leading regional standard bodies. In US region, IEEE, E1, EIA, Europe, ETSI, Japan, DCC, RCR, Japanese standard. Just mention the three regions and standard bodies. You can write an exercise. Visit IEEE website. IEEE website. And identify goals. And identify the goals and their standardization process. And in their standardization process. Underline standardization process because they have a very strong standardization process, very popular. A lot of standards have come from IEEE. So you must visit because IEEE is something they normally question in the paper also. Therefore, this is a must visit, right? You should not avoid that. Right? ISO they don't normally question, but IEEE they normally question because most of the data from networking standards have come from IEEE. You must visit when you come next time. Right? So at that point we will stop. Visit all these three actually, but pay more attention to the IEEE because they question about it in the exam. After that we will discuss IETF and ISOC, Internet Society, etc. Some internet standards we will look at next time. Telecom standardizing bodies you can visit. The other one, ETS. Also visit ETS, European Telecom Standard Institution. One of the best for tutorials. It's a website I normally visit. So lots of new tutorials are coming. If you want to update yourself, remember ETS, one of the good websites. ETS, European Telecom Standard Institute. So please visit these websites because they are very important for your future in the telecom. Because after you pass a certain level of education in the telecom, rest of your updating are actually coming from these organizations. So you must learn now how to be in touch with them. It's good for your future. Right? Maybe you want to become members also now. IEEE, IEEE, they take the engineers now. They are the people who certify engineers. And if you really want to become a professional engineer, you must get a membership in some of these organizations. So therefore, be in touch now by visiting their website. Okay. We'll stop it here. Now we have come almost to the end of our syllabus. So next time within about 1 hour, half an hour we can finish. So please bring your answers, right, so that we will start revision and discuss. We'll read your answers also, and then I'll be able to comment. And also we'll discuss the difficult ones. But before that we should know what are the difficult ones. So it is your responsibility to find the difficult ones. Okay, we'll call it today. Thank you.